Okay, so when we do dimensional analysis, we are trying to convert between units and we're using some conversion factors. So one of the examples I gave in class today was if you want to take 27.5 centimeters and you want to know how many inches that is. There are a couple of things we know. For every 1 inch, you have 2.54 centimeters. Now that's a conversion factor that will be given to you. It's an equivalent statement saying that this quantity is equal to this quantity. So what we're wanting to know is this: how many inches do we have? So our first step is to take what we are given and write that out. So we're going to take our 27.5 centimeters. That's our given quantity. We can use what I call the railroad tracks, or you can multiply by a fraction. Either way works fine. The important thing is to come over here and to take this conversion factor and to set it up appropriately so that whatever the units you're starting with are always on the bottom. So for example, since we're starting in centimeters, we want our centimeter part of this equivalent statement to go on the bottom. So we're putting the 2.54 centimeters on the bottom and the 1 inch is on the top. Okay, and so because we have actually have a centimeter in the top and bottom, it cancels out. The unit we're left with is inches. What we're doing here is if you have more than one setup, this is just a one-step problem, you are going to just multiply straight across the top and get an answer. In this case, 27.5 times 1 is 27.5. You multiply straight across the bottom and get an answer, which this is an understood 1 on the left, and then you have 2.54. And then the last step is simply to simplify these out. So 27.5 divided by 2.54 in order to get our answer. So let's see what that is real quick. 27.5 divided by 2.54 gives us 10.83 inches. Now I'm putting inches, I'm putting inches because that is the unit here and here that we were going to. Now we haven't even gotten into significant figures yet. I will talk more about that another time, but let's say that we have another problem that we want to do. And this time we have there's a little bit more involvement, okay? I am going to refer to number 4 on your homework worksheet because this one was always a little challenging. What it gives us is 36 centimeters, and they want to know how many miles is that going to be. So there's a few things we know. The first thing we know is that for every 2.54 centimeters, you have 1 inch. And again, this is on the worksheet, the statements. You also know that let me use green. For every, let's see, we take centimeters to inches. For every 12 inches, you have 1 foot. Okay, and then you also know that 5,280 feet are equal to 1 mile. So we have 3 equivalent statements we have to use for this particular problem. So when I set up what I call the railroad tracks, I'm going to start with my given units, which is 36 centimeters. That's what we start with. How many equivalent statements do we have over here? Well, there's 1, 2, and 3. Which means we're going to have 1, 2, and 3 little sections here where we're going to be plugging in these equivalent statements. The first one we're starting with over here, because it's in centimeters right here, we have to make sure that we're putting centimeters on the bottom. So that means we're starting here with this first one, so 2.54 centimeters for every 1 inch. And so now we have shown that our centimeters are canceling out right there. Okay, and we're left in inches. We want to keep going. We need whatever's going to cancel out the inches right here on the bottom. So now we take one that has inches, which is going to be this one, since we haven't used it yet. So 12 inches equals 1 foot. Notice that I am showing my units because again, it's, let's see if we can get that away. Again, there we go. Again, we are trying to show these dimensions or units are canceling. So now the inches have gone away. So the last one that's remaining is this last or third conversion factor. Feet's on the top, so we want to have 5,280 feet here for every 1 mile. And so the last one we were showing canceling out is the feet. Now what you're going to do here is you're going to take, and let me grab a cool little marker, go straight across the top, and then you're going to go straight across the bottom and get basically 2 numbers here. So obviously 36 times 1 times 1 times 1 gives us 36. And then what we have to do is this bottom part, 2.54 times 12 times 5,280 is giving me 160934.4. The last step of the process, so we set up our conversion factors, we made sure everything canceled. Step 4 was to basically come in and simplify this remaining thing now. So we do 36, divide that by 160,934. And when we do that, we get a very small number, or decimal. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. I mean, there's more numbers, but we can round it and stop right there. And again, this unit is now miles. Now, this makes a lot of sense. You only started with 36 centimeters. 36 centimeters is not even half of a meter stick. So what ends up happening is, of course, that's going to be a fraction of a mile. So this is how you set up your dimensional analysis. Hey everybody, thank you for watching. Be sure that you subscribe to my channel right here. If you are an AP Chemistry student, be sure to check out my newest video on determining empirical formulas right here. So I'll catch you guys next time, and thanks for watching.